Hello. We're going to talk about dieting and dieting with carbs and dieting without carbs. Should I use carbs, etc. Blah blah blah. Now I have done this video already, but my phone died, so I'm going to have to do it all again. So excuse me if I do it very quickly. But these are just basic concepts I want to go through. So we're going to do 3 scenarios. All 3 scenarios are going to be using myself as the example. Before I go into them, I want to explain that in each scenario, the calories are the same. So it's an isocaloric diet between the 3 different scenarios. So the calories are always going to be the same, i.e. at each point during the diet, if you were to compare the 3 different scenarios, the calories would be the same. And same goes with the protein. So the protein's been equated. So 3 weeks in, if you compare the 3 different diets, they'd all have the same calories and the same protein. The only difference would be the proportion of the rest of the calories, whether there's carbs or fats. Okay, so an isocaloric diet where the protein has been equated. That's very important. Also, there will be trains going past, so please ignore them if you can, like this one. Anyway, so the 3 scenarios we've got. I'm trying to lose fat in this scenario. I don't care about gym performance. I purely care about losing fat, okay, losing weight. I just want to lose weight. I don't care about the gym. Obviously I do, but whatever. Okay, I want to lose some weight. So I've got the weight up here, time there, all right? So in the first scenario, after the protein, the rest of your calories are going to be made up nearly entirely of carbs, all the carbs, and you're going to keep in some dietary fats just for your health, but mainly carbs, okay? So high carb diet. In the second scenario, we've got no carbs. So you've taken out absolutely all the carbs. You've got your protein, as before, and the rest of your calories are made up from fat. Okay, same calories though, overall. And then the third scenario is going to be a combination of the 2. So you're going to have your calories the same as before, same protein, but then after that, the rest of your calories are going to be split between carbs and fats, and they're going to change throughout the process as well. So let's go with carbs first. So I've been eating normally up to a point. I've got 8 weeks. Oh crap, I'm not in shape, I want to go on holiday and look a little bit better. So I've got to change my diet. I go on calorie restriction. I'm at a deficit. All the deficit's going to be the same. But the first one I do is with carb. So my starting point is here. Okay, that's for all 3, the same starting point. I'm going to keep my carbs. Because I'm at a deficit, and as I go through, I'm going to decrease my calories, which means I'm decreasing my protein as well to a degree, but also the carbs. Everything's getting decreased, okay? So because I'm going to keep a deficit as I lose weight. So I'm going to do another train. So the curve's going to look something like this. So we're going to have a slightly quicker drop off at the beginning, but then it's going to taper down as I lose weight. It becomes harder and harder. Don't worry about that. Okay, that's my curve, okay? That's keeping carbs in the whole way through, even towards the end, okay? I've lost this much. This is the maximum that I'm gonna weigh because of the carbs, okay? And the reason for that is that when you have carbs, you are holding water. You're gonna retain some water, okay? But this is the maximum amount of water that I can hold with regards to my weight, okay? So within that weight, there's gonna be some water, but I can't hold any more because I'm at my maximum capacity for carbs within my diet restrictions, okay? So I can't hold any more water than that. If you decide to do a no carb diet, okay, same calories, same protein as before, but I have no carbs, it's all from fats. From that initial point, okay, same as last time, same point, it's me again, same scenario, 8 weeks to get in shape. I drop quick, boom. And the reason that happens is because I was eating carbs before, my normal day-to-day balanced diet, I was eating carbs, now I decided to chop out the carbs, no carbs. So in the first few days, I'm gonna drop weight quickly, and it's pretty much all gonna be from water, okay? Because there's no need for my body to hold that water anymore because I'm dropping out the carbs. Obviously there's science as to why that happens and how that happens, but it's not necessary to know that right now. The most important thing is that you know that it does happen, okay? So you're gonna drop quick. After that though, there's no more water to drop. Let's just say I've got no excess water from food because I've got no carbs. I can't keep dropping that water like that because I haven't got any carbs anymore. And from that point, the curve is going to be very similar. Let's just claim that's very similar, okay? And this gap between the two lines, okay, between the carb diet and the no carb diet is the same. Let's just call it 3 pounds of water weight, okay? It's gonna stay, okay, roughly, this is purely hypothetical, okay? I'm gonna keep that gap all the way. The reason it's gonna stay very similar is because my calorie deficit is consistent between the two diets as time goes on. It's the same calorie deficit, same calories, same protein. It's just the energy that I'm using, okay, carbs or fats. I've dropped the carbs, I've got no excess water, okay, but my deficit's the same. So still gonna lose the same amount of weight over time after that water drop, okay? Don't worry about this gap until the end. Okay, so that's without carbs. Ooh, wobble, wobble. Okay, next one, last scenario. A combination of the two. Same calories, same protein, same deficit as time goes on. Same starting point up here. Want to lose weight, 8 weeks, get in shape, blah, blah, blah. Right, here we go. Ooh, bee in my ear. So, I decided to eat some carbs for a few days, and then I drop carbs out a bit, and then I want some carbs again. And then I do low carb for 4 or 5 days. And I have some carbs, then I have no carbs, and then I'm a bit consistent. Some carbs, not that many, and then I go loads of carbs for that day, then no carbs. And as you can see, that goes on over time. Let's say I end up there, okay? The reason it's going up and down between those two is this is the maximum amount of water that I can hold whilst on this calorie controlled diet. And this is the minimum amount of water that I can hold whilst on my no carb diet. Train. I probably shouldn't do this outside, but I like being outside, so I'm going to do it outside. My graph is so good, you don't even need to hear me, you can just work it out, okay? Blah, blah, blah. There's going to be a bit of a movement between the two lines. What you need to worry about is the trend for this line is going to be something like this. Very similar to these two, probably in the middle, okay? Not probably, definitely in the middle. The trend is the same, so there's going to be a gap. Now, you might think from this, well, Max, why don't I just do a no carb diet, end up at I got lower weight, so I've lost more weight. You can do, but remember the difference in the amount of weight you've lost between the carb diet and the no carb diet was water, not fat, okay? So that gap at the end is very easily solved. So if you really wanted to, for the last couple of days before the holiday, to make up that difference, if you wanted to, I'm not saying that you should, but if you dropped out carbs from your carb diet, okay, you'd end up, bang, you'd end up there, where you would have ended up on the no carb diet, okay? Same with the combination diet. If you ended up somewhere here because you're having some carbs that day, if you just dropped out carbs the last couple of days, bang, you end up at that same point. So your starting point is the same and your end point is the same. It's just that it shifted a couple of days or a week because your body was getting rid of water. But it doesn't keep getting rid of water. It's not like you drop down to here and you stay, but you just drop a bit. But then the weight loss is steady. Just like here, you keep the water in, but your weight loss is still steady. It's not stopping you losing weight. You can still lose weight and keeping the carbs because your energy balance was exactly the same between all three scenarios as you went through, okay? The reason that the combination one looks a bit funny, even though the energy balance was the same, some days you had carbs and some days you didn't, so you were holding a bit more water than the day before and then you drop it, but the general trend is exactly the same. When you get to the end, you can just drop it down. So again, this is hypothetical, but there is no reason why you can't lose weight and include carbs or by dropping carbs out completely. This scenario is for somebody who wants to lose weight and was not concerned about the gym or gym performance. If you were concerned about the gym and you wanted to train a bit harder, then I would highly recommend keeping the carbs in because they're a fantastic source of energy for workouts, either in the gym or even cardio, but I would keep the carbs in, and then if you wanted to be more specific, in and around training. Okay, but if it's purely for weight loss, it doesn't matter where your energy comes from, okay, after your protein. As long as you have an isocaloric diet and you have the protein in equated the same, you could do it 3 different ways and you'd end up with a very, 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 very similar, if not exactly the same result at the end. Now, personal preference is different. If you don't like eating carbs because they make you feel bloated and you feel heavy and disgusting or whatever, and then you have that's affecting you mentally, then don't eat them. That's absolutely fine. Do a no carb diet. But it's not because no carb is better, it's because you prefer it, not because it's better, okay? There's loads of ways to skin a cat as long as the cat is dead, okay? There's loads of ways to lose weight, but you have to be in a calorie deficit. So as long as the deficit is the same and the protein's equated all the way through, you're going to lose the same amount. Okay. I'm going to have loads of people telling me that this is wrong now, but this is just like a basic way of understanding that you've got water and then sometimes you don't have water, but in the end it doesn't even matter. I didn't mean to make a reference there, but in the end it doesn't even matter. Okay, because over time the trend is the same. Okay, the trend is your friend and it's always going to be going down. Okay, gains.